Hey up, Rock God 2004 back with another video for you, and I thought I would do a few reviews because I haven't done one for absolutely yonkeroonies. So I'm going to sort of think back to the last, say the last three weeks or so, possibly four, and if there's any I forgot, then I forgot them. There's nothing I can do about it, but I'm going to tell you the ones I remember that I've got out ready to show you. What I thought of them, and would I recommend you getting them if I remember. So let's get cracking with the first one. These are in no particular order. I'll try and sort of get them in like sort of the earliest I watched. But this is the first one. I mean, you've probably seen me unbox quite a lot of these, but the first one I watched, this is the 4K steelbook of Night of the Living Dead that I got from Amazon France. Now, the first one I got of this had a dirty great big scratch right down there before I'd even opened it. So I reported it and they sent me this one, and it's absolutely spotless, thankfully. I did only send the other one back yesterday, I think it was, or the day before. I hope to God to get it back. It's got till about the 2nd or 3rd of October, or I'll get billed again. Anyway, this is got the Studio Canal label on the back, so I don't know if this is the same transfer that that label I can't stand who've released it, Criterion. I don't know if it's the same transfer, but with this you get the 4K, the Blu Ray, and then you get a bonus Blu Ray as well with all the features on. So it's a 3-disc set, and this costs 16 quid from Amazon France. So when I first put it on, I was like, oh great, how do I get these subtitles off? So I was going through the menu trying to get English. Couldn't do it. You just do it on the remote. It goes subtitles off, and you pick your language. So totally in English with 0 subtitles. This looks fantastic. I was so impressed with this. I love this film. I've got to admit the Criterion Blu-ray looked excellent. I can't compare them. Well, I can, but I haven't. But they're pretty much on a par. Maybe this one was a little bit sharper with it being a 4K. But the picture quality on this was absolutely amazing. And for 16 quid, can't fall off. If you've never seen this before, then where the hell have you been? It's basically a brother and sister go to a graveyard to see a dead relative's grave, and the brother starts scaring her, and they're coming to get your barber and all that crap. And then this random dude starts walking through the cemetery going, oh look, here's one now, and he attacks them. But it's blatantly obvious from the get-go he's actually a zombie. So she runs off, he's fighting with the zombie, and then she finds this house, and he's not far behind her, this dude. She runs to this house, and she sees this. It's like a jump scare, so I'm not going to tell you. She sees a body of some description, quite gory for a black and white film. And then she meets the main hero in the film, who is, I think it's known, he was the first black person to play like a main hero in a film, so it was like quite groundbreaking. And he's such a likable guy. I love him. But what a film this is. Fantastic. There's a little bit at the end is absolutely heartbreaking. It really is. But I highly recommend this film. This is the one that started all the zombie films off in this sense. I know these did get ideas. George Romero did get ideas from the Hammer one, apparently. And I do like the Hammer one, Plague of the Zombies, but this is far better. But then again, Dawn of the Dead for me is the ultimate zombie film. So yeah, brilliant film. Would I recommend getting this steelbook? Absolutely. Amazon France, 16 quid, and that's your postage included. However, go onto the internet and type in the Amazon.France website, because if you go on the app, it won't let you change the language. And I had a right carry on, send another one back. So yeah, by all means, I would highly recommend this. but go on the website so you know what you're doing. So that's the French 3-disc amazing steelbook of Night of the Living Dead. Next up was a DVD that I got sent from Michael Hewitt. I'd never seen this before, and this is Paul Verhoeven's Showgirls. I'd heard so many bad things about this, and I must admit, the Paul Verhoeven stuff I've seen, I love. I love Basic Instinct, love RoboCop, and I'm sure there's another one I've seen. Total Recall. I love Total Recall. He also did Starship Troopers, but I'm sure I've seen it, but I can't swear to it. And if I have, I don't remember a thing about it. So I wasn't expecting much from this. And I tell you what, it was no award-winning masterpiece, but my God, did I enjoy it. Really, really good film. I don't know why people have crapped on it, because I've seen far worse. Far worse. I think it's got a cracking little storyline. It's different for him, because it's not like the usual sort of like gore fest or full of violence. There's a bit of violence in it. But this has also got some really good cast members in. It's got Elizabeth Berkley and Kyle MacLachlan in this, who looks very young indeed. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Really good story. I would love that Vinegar Syndrome box set, but I don't like the film enough for 40-50 quid. Love it. If I seen it on sale for maybe 25 quid, even 30 quid, I'd snap it up. But 40-50 quid, I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, would I recommend this? Definitely give it a watch. Either try and watch it online or try and track it down. This looked pretty good, but it would look even better on Blu Ray, even better on 4K. But yeah, not my favourite film, but yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. That's Paul Verhoeven's Showgirls. Next up was one that I got sent to me from Delboy. And not only was this an absolutely stunning Blu-ray set, absolutely beautiful, and it's an Arrow box set as well, but the film absolutely blew me away. And this is Martin Scorsese's Wolf of Wall Street. I'd never seen this, and this was one of those films that Delboy kept saying to me, you need to see it. And Andy has also been telling me that I need to see it. So I was like, yeah, I'll watch it one day. And then next thing I know, this bad boy turns up. I didn't know. He sent me it. And it absolutely blew me away. So I watched this. I was like, wow. It's almost 3 hours long. And my God, does it fly by. I was put off by the title because I've seen Wall Street with Michael Douglas, and I was bored to tears. It's nothing like that at all. Nothing like that at all. This, I just can't. It's just so entertaining. And it's one of those films where, like, I'd rather not tell you anything about it. Do what I did, go in blind, and just watch it. It's in true sort of Scorsese style as well. You'll get little bits where DiCaprio's walking along and he'll look into the camera and he'll narrate a bit, and then there's like people around him, like, it's just totally normal, and he'll turn around and start a conversation as though he just hasn't spoken to you. It doesn't happen often, that, but it kind of explains things a little bit more, what he's doing at the time. What a film. Cannot recommend this enough. Buy this. Don't even stream or anything, just go and buy it if you haven't seen it. Amazing film. And an amazing edition if you can get out of this still. Martin Scorsese's The Wolf of Wall Street. This is another one that Delboy sent for me. I'd never seen this, and when he sent me this, I was like, wow, absolutely blown away by this. This is a snazzy box set, and this one is a 4K, and I had never seen this, and it's Last Action Hero. And it's not only a 4K and a snazzy box, it's also the 4K steelbook with that beautiful artwork on. I didn't know what to expect with this. I thought, is this going to be daft? It's going to be like a kid's film or what? Man, what a blast. Absolutely loved it. At first, when you see the kid at the beginning and he gets given this ticket off the cinema owner, I was like thinking, what's going to happen here? Is this going to be stupid? No. I just went along with it, and my God, I had an absolute blast. And it's got some amazing cameos in it. Absolutely fantastic. 2 of which are that fast. If you blink, you miss them. Won't tell you when, or I won't tell you how, but just look out for a certain member from the film Basic Instinct in the get-up that they wear in the film. Just a quick thing. Amazing. And there's another film where somebody walks on from another film. I'm not going to tell you what it is if you haven't seen it. I think I'm the only person on the globe who hasn't seen it, to be honest, but wow. If, like me, you've never fancied this, and you're thinking, yeah, shall I watch it? Watch it. What a blast. It's fantastic. So that is Last Action Hero. Next one is one of my all-time favourite British films. One of my all-time favourite British comedies, if not my favourite. This is such a good, feel-good film. And also, this takes me right back to when I was at school. As much as I hated school, it's just, this is like a time capsule, and I love it. And this is 4K of Bill Forsyth's Gregorys Girl. What a film. What a film. When this first comes on, you see you see the lads looking through the window at this nurse getting a kid off. And then it goes to the titles, and when the titles are coming on, there's a girl going for a run, like a morning jog. And as she runs past the camera, the film title comes on, and the sky at the back, it's like, oh God, that's nasty. It's grainy. It's a bit uneasy on the eye. But you've got to think this film's 1980, and it wasn't exactly major studio material. But then when it goes to the school and stuff, it's all right. It's really, really good, actually. But this is one of those films I can just watch anytime. And if you're ever feeling crappy, stick this on. It's just nostalgic, and it just makes you feel really, really good. It's basically Gregory starts to... he plays in a football team, and he's useless. And he's so funny. Gordon St. Clair, yeah. I can't remember his full name. John Gordon St. Clair. And they're trying out for somebody to play for the school team. And this girl who you see running at the beginning applies, like she wants a trial. And she's by far the best one. And they don't know whether to give her a place in the team, because he said, I don't want a boys only. And she's like, we didn't say that. And it doesn't. So and he just falls for her. However, the plot thickens, that's all I'll say. But this is just such a brilliant, well thought out film. Absolutely love it. Would I recommend getting this? Absolutely, definitely. Bill Forsyth's Gregorys Girl. Next up was A Blind Buy. I've heard very good things about this, and I've heard a lot of people saying it was weird. So I thought, you know what, sod it. This came off a pre-order on 4K in the States, uncut, whereas apparently every Blu Ray release worldwide was cut. So I thought, you know, sod it, I'll pre-order it. If I don't like it, it's popular, I'll sell it. And it is. Thingy, what do you call him? Is it Brandon Cronenberg? His son? It's his Infinity Pool. Well, they weren't wrong about it being weird. However, I did really enjoy it, thankfully. And I watched this expecting to hate it. I've always been a bit dodgy about blind buys, especially with new films after Smile. It's a million times better than Smile, trust me. The ending was a little bit sort of like, well, what am I supposed to make of that now? But somebody's give me their take on it, and I think, yeah, I get it now. I do think I know what it's supposed to mean. It's quite graphic in parts, sexually. But however, don't think it's real, because it's not. That's all I'm going to say. I thought it was. It's not, because if you watch the extra features, it does show you the way that said scene was made. And I was actually quite surprised and impressed at how they did it. Because it looks pretty real at the time, I must admit. Would I recommend this? Absolutely. I think you've got to see this to believe it. Mia Goth is absolutely fantastic. She can do no wrong. I mean, she's been in some crap films like Nymphomaniac. I watched that. I didn't know it was her at the time. I wouldn't have recognised her. She was unknown. And I do remember her part in it now, thinking back. And I was like, wow, that was brutal what she does. And she was really good in that, but the film was, I think it sold because it had real sex scenes in it. But after watching X, Pearl especially, and this, she's a phenomenal actress. She really is. And Bill Skarsgård's brother, who I can never remember his name, is in it. Why did I not put my glasses on? It is You're all shouting at me, aren't you? I know you are. Alexander Skarsgård. They are both absolutely phenomenal in this film. What a film. What a film. It's weird as hell, but not to the point where you think, what the hell is going on here? It's not that bad. It's not a Razorhead weird. You know exactly what's going on. And yeah, it's got to be watched, even if you don't like it. You've got to say you've seen it. I wouldn't buy it if I wasn't sure. I did, because I wanted to see it that badly, but I wanted to see the uncut version. This is the only way you can get it at the minute. However, this steelbook is also stunning, and it is a bonus, an absolute bonus, that I really enjoyed it, so I'm keeping it. It's up to you whether you make the plunge to buy this as a blind buy. I'll leave that up to you. I'm not going to say do it. I'm not going to say don't. I risked it. Paid off for me. But it's that kind of film where you could watch it and think, what a load of bilge. So I'll leave it up to you. Personally, for me, I enjoyed it. And I would give it a go. If you're thinking of buying it, see if you can stream it first to see if you like it. And then if you like it, even if it's the cut version, then you can hunt this down afterwards. Brandon Fraser? What a bell end! That was a mixture between Brandon Fraser and Fraser. Brain rot? Brandon flipping Cronenberg's Infinity Pool. Next up is a film and a sequel. Double disc set that Ryan sent me. And it's Every Which Way But Loose and Any Which Way You Can on Blu Ray. I don't normally buy the German ones because I was very disappointed with the picture quality of the Rollerball box set. And not only that, halfway through the film went out of sync. I did get replacement discs in the end, but I've not watched them again yet because I'm not desperate to watch the film again yet. And I do love that film. I've loved it ever since I was a kid. So I've always been dubious with German discs ever since that. However, this is a Warner Brothers release, so I felt pretty confident with this one. Although the sleeve and the print all over is all in German, when it comes on, It doesn't even go to a menu. The film started straight up on the first one. There was no subtitles, and it was all in English. It was just like watching a normal US or English disc. The second one came up with the menu, where you just hit play, and it came on. All in English, no subtitles, which I found very surprising, because normally when it's a German or a French release, they automatically start either in the German or French language, or if it's in English, you'll get their subtitles. But no, they're all English. So, and I was really, really pleased to see, because I thought they're going to put them both on the same one, but no, it is 2 discs, both on their own disc, with a note. I used to watch these regularly in the 80s. I never owned a physical sort of copy that you go out and buy, but I had it recorded off the telly. Especially, it was the first one mainly. I've seen the first one more than the second one, and I couldn't remember much about the second one. And do you know what? I put the first one on. It was one night when I couldn't sleep, which is like most nights. It was 1 o'clock. I thought, do I put a film on? Sod it. Put Every Which Way But Loose on. So I watched it, and I enjoyed it that much. I put the second one on straight after, and didn't get to bed till after 5 o'clock. Oh my God. These films are absolutely amazing. I love them. Absolutely love them. They're just such a good time. They're so 70s. It's like sort of hanging out in country and western bars, cowboy hats and all that type of stuff. There's a Hell's Angel gang in it, which is so funny. They're so dozy. If anything wrong can happen, it will. And this fella here is amazing. He looks such a loving baboon. He's always hugging him. He's always giving kisses. And everybody knows the line, right turn, Clyde. I didn't realise this until I watched them both together, that doesn't come into it until the sequel. I thought that was in the first one as well. It's only in the second one. But these are 2 of the most entertaining films when you're feeling down you could ever wish to watch. Would I recommend these? Absolutely. Absolutely. Without any shadow of a doubt, you need to get these. If you haven't seen them, wow, are you in for a bit of a treat? Absolutely brilliant films. Love them. So that is Every Which Way But Loose, and the sequel, Any Which Way You Can. Next up, this is the disc that prompted me to actually do this video. This is a five disc set. And it is on beautiful steelbook. It's 2 4Ks and 3 Blu Rays. And this is the absolutely outstanding William Friedkin's The Exorcist. Look at that. Now there's these 2 amazing looking deluxe sets coming out in October. I do have both pre-ordered. Whether I get them both is down to Zavvi and Amazon. We'll have to wait and see. However, this blew me away. I've watched both cuts of the film, and I absolutely enjoyed it. For me, the picture was amazing on both cuts. I watched the first one, and then I think it was 2 days later, I watched the director's cut. And I think now I've watched them almost back to back. I think if I had to pick one, I would pick the director's cut. It's got a slightly different beginning bit intro. You get that spider walk, which looks more like a crab, because when you go over, when you see like girls go over and do that walk, they always say, I'm doing the crab. I called it a crab walk, and I got corrected in my own video. Pardon me all the hell, it's a spider walk. That. And the ending, the very ending, where you see one of the priests look down the stairs, and then he turns around and walks away, and then you get the end credits. That happens, but then there's more at the end of it, so you get even more of that ending, and I like it better for it. Because I was going to say I'd like to see an ultimate cut, but which ending would I use? But in the director's cut, you get both endings, because you get the original and then the bit that they put on the end as well. This film is just a brilliant story. It's so well acted. Linda Blair was 12-year-old when she made this film, and she is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I don't know what 12-year-old kid you could get to act the way that she does. She's brilliant. She's a natural. Now, I thought the picture quality on this new 4K was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. And I watched John Mondo Chelovek's review of it, and he pretty much said the same thing. Very pleased. I have since seen some reviews who are predominantly from the States go on about this film and how crap it looks. Stick with your Blu-ray, or the Blu-ray is better. They then turn round and say, but I'm going to keep the 4K. Why? Get rid of it. If it's so bad, get rid of it. One of the best ones I seen was apparently where the old lady, the mother, comes up the stairs, the subway stairs, his mum. And I've never noticed this, but apparently there's a Coke scene, a Coke machine in that scene. In the Blu-ray, apparently it's absolutely crystal clear, stunning, but there's a lot of grain. In this one, the picture's like really clear, but apparently they've DNA'd, whatever you bloody call it, to death. And when it says Coca-Cola, instead of being crystal clear, it looks like somebody smeared it. I wasn't paying attention to a Coke machine. I personally enjoyed the film like this. I was like, wow. I didn't sit and compare them, but straight away I thought this was an upgrade. William Friedkin had a lot of pull on this. He was very involved with this restoration before he sadly passed. So how do you all know that this isn't how William Friedkin wanted it to look? He's the director. It's his film. If you don't like it, send it back, get your money, and stick with your Blu-ray. Shut up moaning, for Christ's sake. Do my head in. Oh, man. I hate all these wannabe film critics because it's not going to happen. You're a YouTube channel. Get over it. Would I recommend this? Absolutely. Looks fantastic. There's nothing wrong with it. If you think there's something wrong with this, then you're into the wrong thing. Stick with your DVD, let alone the Blu-ray, because I'm sure that is pin sharp to you. That'll do you. Highly recommend this. It's a fantastic film, and this is a fantastic edition of it. Even if you don't want the steelbook, the standard edition with the slipcover, the UK one's got the original artwork. It's beautiful. And I'm certainly still getting those collector's editions because I think it's amazing. This you get the film on its own disc. You get them both on 4K, the theatrical and the director's cut. You get them both on Blu-ray, and you get an extra Blu-ray full of features. 5 discs for what you pay for this. Was it 25, 30 quid? You pay more than that for one film sometimes. And the artwork, look at that. I know it's not the original artwork, but for a collector's steelbook, that is beautiful. And when you open it up, I don't know if you've seen this, because I think when I showed it, I hadn't got it opened, if I remember rightly. I'll tell you what though, these J cards are no longer J cards, they're J papers. But that's the front. That's the back. And when you open it, it's all one image. Look at that. How nice is that? And when I opened mine, I actually went like that, thinking it was the 2 4Ks. And then when I went to watch it, I was like, what the hell? So I lifted it up. And there's another one underneath it. And when you lift that up, there's another one underneath that. I was like, that's 3, 4. I thought, well, there can't be another one underneath that. So I went like that. I was like, there bloody is. So I took that off. And yet it's the Blu-ray of that edition as well. It's unreal. 5 discs. What do you want? What do you want for around the £30 mark, really? I could understand this if it was like really, really awful. I mean, I'll tell you what, right? This looks far better than Paramount's job on Friday the 13th and Kino Lorber's god-awful job on Dress to Kill. If you have those two, you've got something to mourn about. There is nothing wrong with this for me. I love it. If you can get it, I don't care if it's the steelbook, the big collector's editions, or just the standard edition. Get this. You need it in your collection. William Friedkin's absolute masterpiece, The Exorcist. Next one I watched was another one that Michael Hewitt sent me. Never ever seen this, never heard of it. And this is a Halle Berry film, Kidnap. This only goes on for about 1 hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes, and I thought, we'll see. Wow, blew me away. This film is excellent. It's absolutely fantastic. Creepy as hell. Couple of jump scares. She's basically out with a little boy, and she takes him out to the park, and she must be like really worried about, you know, him going missing, because like I've just got to take this call, and he's sat at the front watching something, and even though she's on a call, she's got this like little walkie-talkie thing, and she says something. It's not, are you there? It's have a little code, and he replies, yep, blah blah blah, whatever. She does that about 4 times. Everything's all right. So she finishes the call, goes back, he's gone. She's frantic, looking around, and she sees him being hauled into this car, led away and hauled into a car by this huge thing, which from the back looks like Leatherface. And you still don't know if it's a man or a woman. It's this thing. So she just jumps in a car, runs like hell. She tries to stop the car. She jumps in her car and she follows it, and she's in hot pursuit of him. My God, are you on the edge of your seat with this? And how it turns out, you're like, oh my God, it's phenomenal. I swear to God, you need to watch this film. I loved it. Absolutely loved it, and I didn't expect to. Look for this. I highly, highly recommend this. That's Halle Berry in Kidnap. This next one I got earlier in the year in one of the indicator sales. You know, we used to get a bundle of, like, was it 5 for 30 quid or something like that? It was in one of those. And I found it, I thought, oh, there it is. I want to watch it before I had it. This is a Joan Crawford film called Berserk. And it is over here. A lot of British people in this. Judy, is it? Judy Geeson. Judy Geeson's in this. Michael Goff is in it. Dinah Dawes, Robert Hardy, what a cast, and Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford has this circus, and it's like a travelling circus. And then the people who work in the circus start to get bumped off. And you're guessing it's a whodunit thing. So who's killing off the people in the circus? And it's got some of the nasty shots in there. There's Dinah Dawes, there's Michael Goff. And it's only a 12. And I thought this should have been a 15. And I also thought, looking at it, it was black and white. It's not colour. And the picture quality on this is excellent for an old film. They've really restored it well. It's not as good as the likes of Hammer's Never Take Sweet from a Stranger, or what's it, Homicidal. It's not as good as them, but it's not far behind. It's a really, really enjoyable film, and it does keep you guessing. So next time they have a sale on, I highly recommend getting this one. Really good film, Berserk. Next up is another film that Delboy sent me because he thought that I should see it. It's a DVD, and he said it was very hard to find. And this was Jack Lemmon's final film before he passed away, bless him. And this is called Tuesdays with Mori. So I opened it and I was like, oh, never heard of that. I was very tired and I was ill. And it might have looked like I was being ungrateful. Not at all. I was just like, well, I've never heard of that one before. And I wonder why he sent me that, because it's not the type of thing that I would normally watch. But I said, you've sent it, I will watch it. So when I was starting to feel better, this was one of the first ones I watched. And you know what? What a cracking film. It's a made-for-TV one. It's shot in the TV ratio. So you get the square in the middle. And I had a massive lump in my throat, I swear to God, what a film. Jack Lemmon is Hank Azaria's, who apparently does the voice of The Simpsons. He's his coach when he was younger, and then when he leaves school, when he graduates, he says that he promises he'll stay in touch, and life happens and he doesn't. And I can't remember what it is, but something prompts him to go and see him, because I think he regrets it, and he goes, "You finally came to see me." And then while he's there, Jack Lemmon tells him that he's dying. Whatever it is, it's incurable. And you see him deteriorate, but then he starts to really, really bond with him. And he starts to learn a lot of him, so he starts to go and see him every week. And Jack Lemmon says, Tuesdays are our days. Mori is the Jack Lemmon character. And the Tuesday comes when that's the visiting day. He goes to see him, and as he goes along, you can see him gradually going downhill. But the talks he gives him, it's like he's giving him life lessons, and he starts to really think about what he's done right and wrong, and he starts to prioritise and think what's important to him, and he changes in a lot of things. He's got a girlfriend in it, a fiancée, well, a girlfriend, and he messes that up. And just through going to see him, that's one of the things he addresses. And the ending is just absolutely heart-wrenching. If you can find this, wow, watch it. Try and find it on YouTube, try and find it on streaming, or try and get it on this DVD. Apparently this is the only way you can get it physically, this DVD, and it's Odyssey, I think. Yeah, an Odyssey bestseller release. It's got an intro by Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, I think she had something to do with it. But yeah, what a film. I really do recommend you watch this. Such a great film. Tuesdays with Mori. And finally, the last one I can think of is I have absolutely enjoyed this so much that I'm thinking about sticking these straight back on again. And I've watched the entire Psycho 4K collection. The only thing I didn't watch is the second cut of Psycho 4, which is the TV ratio. But I did put the disc in, press play, and skipped a couple just to make sure it played all right. Wow, what a set. Phenomenal films. These look the best they've ever looked. The worst one for me, not film, but the worst transfer for me was Psycho 3. It just looked grainier than the rest of them. I don't suppose when it got to Psycho 3 that Universal were that bothered, to be fair, though. Which is a shame, because I'll be honest with you, in my opinion, I absolutely love all four films. I've seen people say Psycho 4's crap. It really isn't. It really isn't. It basically shows you Norman phoning a radio show who were doing a show about matricide. So he rings in, starts telling his story, and it goes back and shows you stuff from when he was younger, a younger Norman, and what his mother was like. Olivia Hussey plays his mother, and Henry Thomas plays young Norman, and they do it fantastic. Shows you how the mum died, and the boyfriend. Psycho 3 is not like the first two. It's very much got a lot of dark black comedy. What a bell end! Elements to it, which I think is what Anthony Perkins wanted, because he's the director of this one. It's still a great film, though, but it's the worst transfer for me, but that doesn't mean it's bad. The colours in it are beautiful. It's just a lot grainier. The first one looked phenomenal, and the second one did as well. My favourite Psycho film out of all of them is 2. It's just that much over the original, because I love the original. But I love all 4. I think my preference is 2, 1, and then probably 3 and 4 joint. But this is an absolutely beautiful, phenomenal set. I've changed all the artwork around, so it's all the original artwork. You get the big, thick book. It's not a booklet, it's a book. You get double-sided posters and all sorts of stuff. I have done an unboxing of this. I'll leave the link below if you want to watch it. I'll leave a link below to the Exorcist one as well that I unboxed. But I would get this. If you like the Psycho films, is it worth the upgrade? Absolutely. And I would get this quick because I think somebody told me that Xavier is now sold out, so it is going. It's on its way. And I can't see them ever repeating this because I didn't expect Universal to let them have the first one. But they did. It's the exact same disc. It is the Universal disc, but they must have got some blank ones because they've put the Arrow artwork on it with the logo. But you don't get the Arrow logo at the beginning. It just comes straight on Universal. So I can't see this being repeated, and I can't see it lasting long. So that's the Psycho 4K box set with Psychos 1, 2, 3, and 4. Before I go, Postman's Bean. I've got an unboxing. This feels like a book. Delboy. I wonder if this is the one. Because I don't know what it is. There's one way to find out. It's not. It's my plastic protectors for my steelbooks. Sorry, Delboy, to get your hopes up. What a bell end! I'm so glad that those protectors have turned up, but it's such a damn shame it wasn't that book. Never mind. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that because I haven't done one of those for a long time, so I do hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much, all two of you, for watching and for putting up with my endless, boring drivel. I really do appreciate it. Honestly, I really do. And if you have subscribed, God bless you. Thank you so much. I'm creeping up there. Soon be 600 the way it's going, thankfully. Anyway, I will see you all very soon on the next video. And once again, thank you so much for watching and subscribing, all two of you. It means the world to me. Y'all take care of yourselves, and I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta.